Lorna Thorne. The last updated 12:58, September 20, 2017. Thousands of air passengers have had their travel plans disrupted, and petrol companies are trying to make sure Auckland does not run short of petrol or diesel following of damage to the pipeline which supplies the city with fuel. Worried whether your flight will be cancelled or you should cancel your school holiday plans? We've got the answers. What is the current status of my flight? Information is changing from day to day. Check Auckland Airport's website for the latest information, or contact your airline. Information on the current flight cancellations can also be found here. How much disruption is this causing? All airlines flying into and out of Auckland are required to ration fuel as a result of the damaged pipeline to Auckland Airport, making delays and cancellations inevitable. About 37 flights have been cancelled Wednesday, 23 of which were domestic and 14 international. Read more. Auckland Airport cancellations grow. RNZ restricting sales. Auckland Airport jet fuel rationing regime. Air New Zealand has so far cancelled 26 domestic, 11 trans-Tasman and 3 international long-haul flights as a result of the damaged pipeline. The services cancelled Wednesday include 5 Australian flights, 2 Fijian services, and a return service to Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Thursday's return service from Houston has also been scrapped. The airline estimates up to 3,000 customers will be impacted by cancellations Wednesday and around 6,000 affected by schedule changes. Most passengers are being moved to other flights, and the airline says it is working through notifying those affected. RNZ said its domestic network is now operating largely as normal and it expects disruptions to ease. Jetstar has cancelled 4 domestic services set to fly out Wednesday and 2 due to fly Thursday. We're consolidating these services and rebooking passengers on alternative flights the same day, a spokesman said. Some 9,000 Air New Zealand passengers are expected to be affected by the jet fuel crisis on Wednesday. When will I find out if my flight has been delayed or cancelled? Airlines are releasing updated flight schedules each day, so, in many cases, you won't know for sure until the day you are set to travel. House of Travel Commercial Director Brent Thomas said the agency has been fielding a significant number of inquiries from customers planning to travel over the coming days and is working with them, airlines and suppliers to minimize disruption to their plans. RNZ advises customers booked to travel into or out of Auckland this week to ensure their contact details have been included in the booking and that they have signed up for travel alerts. What if I miss my connecting flight? Rebookings for delayed or cancelled flights are being dealt with directly by the airlines. All airlines flying into and out of Auckland Airport have been affected by the jet fuel crisis. What if my delayed or cancelled flight disrupts other travel plans? Thomas recommends travelers stay in close contact with their travel agents so any necessary changes can be made as soon as possible. Often more important for many travelers than flight cancellations and delays are the knock-on effects. What to do with hotels, rental cars and cruises. He said, travel agents will work through issues with accommodation providers, rental car and cruise companies, and other suppliers on the customer's behalf. For example, if you're booked to go on a cruise and can't make it to the departure point on time, we can see if we can fly you to the next port so you can continue with the cruise as normal. With rental cars it's a simple matter of rebooking, but it needs to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis as everyone has different plans. Those who have booked the travel independently will essentially be on their own and have to deal with suppliers themselves, he said. If you have taken our travel insurance early enough, you should be covered for additional costs. If not, additional costs will be borne by the customer, Thomas said. Passengers are advised to check with their airline for the most up-to-date information. I need to travel for business. Will I make it as business? Travelers often book flights fairly last minute. A lot have had the plans disrupted, Thomas said. He suggested business travelers defer all but essential travel until the issue is resolved. If I get a meeting request to get to Christchurch on Friday, I can't be sure I can get there. It will be a struggle over the next week or so to sort these kinds of things out. What will it be like traveling in the school holidays should I cancel my plans? Auckland Airport is likely to become even more chaotic from next week as families head away for the school holidays. While the 2-week break doesn't officially begin until October 2nd, a lot of parents take their children out of school the week before so they can get away early. From the middle of next week, we'll be entering a peak period, so any flight delays will amplify the impact of the fuel shortage, Thomas said. said. That said, the vast majority of flights are still going ahead, even if later than usual via a different route. Customers will need to decide for themselves whether to stick to their plans, cancel them, or come up with a plan B, he said. Flight Centre NZ General Manager Product, Sean Berenson, said he is not aware of any customers cancelling the plans as a result of the fuel crisis and would not recommend they do so. Should customers have concerns, it's a good idea from them to keep in contact with their travel expert or call our 247 assist hotline at any time of the day or night so we can look at options. Air New Zealand said around 9,000 passengers had been affected to date. Are regional flights affected? There has been very little impact on regional services so far. Air NZ said the impact on regions served by turboprop aircraft had been minimal, with only slight changes to schedules. Aircraft are refueling at regional airports where possible because of the restrictions in place in Auckland, a spokesperson said. All of Jetstar's regional and international flights are departing as scheduled. International flights are being rerouted to other airports in New Zealand, Australia and the Pacific. Can I get a refund if my flight is cancelled? Air NZ has said the airline would refund all fares for flights cancelled because of the pipeline damage, but as this situation is outside of Air New Zealand's control, customers would need to contact their insurer for assistance with any accommodation or out-of-pocket expenses incurred, she said. Jetstar said passengers on cancelled services will be offered a voucher refund if they cannot be booked onto another flight. Travellers whose flights out of Auckland have been cancelled should first contact their airline to see if they can be moved to another flight and, if not, seek reimbursement. Natalie Ball, Associate Director at comparetravelinsurance.co.nz, said, the next step would be to contact your insurer. Generally, a travel insurance policy is likely to provide cover for the cost of lost, unused travel arrangements such as other flights, accommodation and tour bookings. Cover would also extend to alternative transport expenses to reach a planned special event on time, such as new flights to get to a wedding, funeral or conference, Ball said. However, cover will be dependent on the insurance provider, level of coverage and the date the policy was purchased. Berenson noted the Civil Aviation Act (CAA) requires airlines to compensate passengers for domestic flights cancelled or delayed for reasons within its control, such as staffing issues. As the jet fuel crisis is outside airlines' control, you could be left out of pocket if you don't have travel insurance. When will this be over? The pipeline which connects Marsden Point Oil Refinery and Auckland Airport was damaged on a farm near Ruakaka. Refining New Zealand has estimated that the damaged pipe will take between 10 and 14 days to fix. The organization said Tuesday that it is making good progress with repairing the ruptured section of the pipeline. It is on track to restore jet fuel to Wiri between September 24 and September 26, it said. Refining NZ expects it will take a further 30 hours to deliver the jet fuel to Auckland Airport. Airlines have been asked to cut fuel consumption to 30% of the normal usage until September 28. Do you have any further questions? Leave us a comment. Stuff.